Oh no, so I have to start with actual catch up news because I got in trouble. You and I did an episode last month, and then I got some messages because apparently I did not introduce you properly. So everyone who's listened to this podcast knows who I am because the podcast is a couple of years old now. But yeah, you just suddenly were added in, and because we had been doing like practice and experiments over the last couple months, I didn't even think to introduce you properly. So
Yes, that's right.
this is Jordan. He's joining Chunk My Beef Chest podcast, CMcBJ podcast, fitness influencer.
That's right.
I am absolutely turgid at the thought of speaking to him today and hopefully many days into the future. How would you introduce yourself?
Oh, throwing on the spot. Okay, let me say the first 5 words that come to mind. Okay.
Why five? Wait, why five? Why 5 words?
Three. Everyone says three. Everyone says one. Five is the next odd number.
Okay.
And speaking of odd, that is one of the 5 words. Then committed. And then brown hair, that's 4 words. And glasses.
Wait. Does brown hair count as 2 words? Because odd is one, committed is one. Brown hair should only be one.
But it's 2 words though.
It's 2 words, but it's one concept.
I can't just say brown.
You could say auburn. I don't know.
Auburn?
Yeah, but still, that doesn't include hair. Brunette.
Brunette. That sounds classy. It
Yep.
sounds like brown hair sounds so bog standard, doesn't it? But
Brunette sounds way better.
sophistication, class, elegance. Yeah.
Now there's your 5 words.
Thank you.
Sophistication and class.
Oh, and all that ass.
Enter the mind of the academy. Chop my big chest, where the best is a philosophy. Drinking at lunch brings verbal skills like a sucker punch. Welcome to CMcBJ. Yeah, CMcBJ. Yeah, CMcBJ. Yeah, CMcBJ. Yeah.
That is a great set of words. I think this was a successful experiment. I was ready for that to fail, and I was absolutely wrong.
Well, I'm happy to what's the opposite of disappoint? To impress.
To impress, yes.
How's your life been in the last 2 weeks?
Do you want the truth? So this is for anyone who's listening who isn't is familiar with Japan. This is university exam, entrance exam season time. I said exam like 5 extra times. This is university entrance exam time for kids. My son is going through his university entrance exams. So at the end of high school, you take the common exam, which is sort of your high school exams, and then you would apply to each university you want to go to and take their exams. So then they put those two numbers together. My son has very high aspirations and very good scores, but he messed up his common exam. So he maybe transposed a column of I guess multiple choice, and he did the wrong column or something. So he got a suspiciously low score compared to what he was getting on his tests previous. But that has basically messed up his entire life. So he didn't get into the 2 schools he wanted to get into. We're waiting till next week to get one more, but if he doesn't get into that, he's going to be a Ronin. Do you know the Ronin thing?
Fighter, samurai type.
Yeah, so it's a Ronin is a samurai without a house. So he is going to take an extra year of just studying and then try again next year if he doesn't get into this school next week. And he is very down about it. So there's just been this oppressive weight in our household. And I just want to play video games and stuff. Because I went to university. I got a job. I don't need any of this shit anymore.
Well, life's hard. Maybe he can learn a lesson this way. It might save him a lot of mini lessons down the line.
I think this is actually, if I want to look at the silver lining, this is actually really good because he's overconfident and he always has been, and he's very focused on status and he wants to go to the best school, and so he always does everything too quick. And I think that's what happened. He did his exam too fast. He thought it was going to be perfect, and he's got to learn to be a little more careful. So this is a whole year-long kick in the ass for him.
Wow. Okay. Well, when I think about you, Peter, I don't see those kinds of qualities from what I know of you. Where do you think that comes from?
It's interesting when you have kids, you realize like what does come from you and what doesn't come from you. So when there is any sort of anger or conflict, he just goes dead silent, which is exactly what I do. But his desire for status is completely alien to me. Like I do not care about what university someone went to, or like just that stuff doesn't matter to me. Like it never meant anything.
No.
So that to me is almost like an opposite attribute, but it's not like my wife is like that either. So I don't get where that came from. Do you have like your personality? We know each other, but not that well because we don't get to hang out that much. But
No.
do you have like a status element to your life? Because I almost go out of my way to not show status.
Well, I think in a lot of circumstances, status. Sorry, I'm copying you, but I'm going to say status.
Well, please do. We want to get our international audience on board.
Absolutely, yeah, and all the fitness buffs. Don't forget.
Yeah, of course.
Like my background isn't preoccupied with anything to do with status. It's I'm from a small town in England, and my parents were always there, let your kid discover their path in life. And I think if you consume by status, you're not really discovering your path. You're following this pre-walked path to the high status places. I've never really been inclined to go there. I don't know. I like an easy, relaxing life.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm not driven in certain areas, but it's definitely not by status. It's more of fulfillment or fun. I do everything until it doesn't feel fun anymore, and then I change. Maybe like a leaf in the wind in that way. But I don't know. I've never put too much stress on status.
Like I almost go out of my way to play down anything that would be significant in my life. So it's almost like the opposite.
We'd rather positively surprise somebody than negatively. If they find out the status thing first and then they see the actual skill, which might not be as good as they expected, that's the opposite of what you want.
Yeah, not impressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I came to Japan, one of the good pieces of advice I was given by one of my judo teachers was tell them you're really bad at judo and then let them find out, because otherwise you're putting like a big target on your back. If you're like, I come in and I won this and I did that and I'm really amazing, that puts a big target on your back. And it's also the opposite sort of humility thing that Japanese people kind of go for. So he's like, just go in and say, oh, I'm not very good. I'm getting old. My back's sore. And everyone will be like, oh, cool. And then you do well. And they're all like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That humility went a long way, I think. That helped a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree 100%. Overwhelmed, not underwhelmed.
Would you like to know about, since we only put out one episode so far, would you like to know the breakdown of the audience we got?
Oh, go on then.
36% from the United States, 28% from the Philippines, which was a bit of a shock for me.
Oh, okay.
24% from Japan, 8% from Germany, and 4% from Canada. That's a good start. I mean, there was only so many downloads to begin with because that feed has been dead for a long time, so it'll take a while to kick in again.
Does it go back into the algorithm after some
Yeah,
action or
I think it'll be like more active. People will be more likely to download it or see it again.
Okay, well that's good. So the Philippines part surprised you. Have you not had much of a Philippines following before?
Well,
or
because it's an English-speaking podcast, I would just assume it's primarily English-speaking countries. And I know there's a lot of English speakers in the Philippines, but didn't really expect. Yeah, that's like the second biggest group.
Nice. I mean, I've got some friends from the Philippines in Japan, and they all speak really, really good English. I wonder if it's maybe a little known fact that English is a bit more widespread in the country. I don't know. I'm guessing. But no, that's good. No, I'm happy to hear we got some international variety.
Yeah, some people listening. So yeah, we want to make sure that my North Americanisms and your Britishisms are in full effect to make sure everyone's getting represented.
Absolutely. Yes, let's do it. Let's nod to these different places.
Oh, so last time we talked about furries and stuff. So I have two stories. I'm going to let you choose. It's we could talk about a beauty show or being angry. Which one piques your interest? We'll probably use the other one next time. So
I'm gonna say beauty show.
Beauty show. Okay.
Well, you stick with what you know, I think.
So last time we did talk about furries, and I said while my spirit animal was a raccoon, if I was going to present myself, I would present myself as a bear. And you said your spirit animal was a giraffe. But
Yes.
I forget what you said you would dress up as. Because giraffe was too hard.
Yeah, very inconvenient, I think, logistically. But I think I was leaning towards the Patronus I was given on a Harry Potter website which was a basset hound.
Oh, basset hound. Yes, I do remember that. Okay, basset
Yeah.
hound. Yeah. So I think bear is very gay coded, attractive, but maybe I'm saying a message that I didn't intend. And basset hound is very cute. But what about camel?
What about camel?
Well, what do you think camels are particularly attractive is kind of what I'm saying.
I think camels have the opposite effect to horses in attractiveness.
I'm going to need an explanation of that.
Okay. My thinking on this is horses as a whole. You look at them, you think, what a beautiful, majestic, gracious-looking animal. But when you zoom in on the individual body parts, they've got knobbly knees, they've got weird-shaped kind of torso business. I think in different areas of their body, I think it's a bit weird looking. But as a whole, it makes a beautiful picture. I think camels are the opposite. As a whole, they look a bit frumpy and a bit weird. But I think, what am I trying to say? Am I saying that?
No, I think I get it. So like you're saying the pieces of a horse don't make sense, but when you put it together, it's like a beautiful animal. Whereas a camel looks odd, but probably all the pieces look better.
I think individually, if you just look at one hump, you think that's a nice hump, or that's a nice tail, that's a nice curved neck or something. But then as a whole, you think, oh, that's what it is?
It's a bit odd looking, yeah. Horses have really, like the horses with the manes and really big horses, like even though like they're attractive, it's very weird. I kind of get why girls go through a phase where they're into horses.
Oh, yeah.
Because my theory is that the horse represents everything they want a man to be. So it's like big and strong and powerful, but also horses, the image is that they're very gentle and loving and friendly. So it's got all that. And so like you can form this deep relationship with it, but because they're young, the horse is not trying to have sex with them.
Exactly.
I think at that age, that's what you want. You want all the stuff, but you're not ready to have sex with someone. So it's there, but it's not there.
Yeah, so maybe the romanticized qualities are all there in horses.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I think a horse is almost a perfect man.
What would push it into perfect man area?
Well, okay, see, now I'm just going to make dirty jokes. They have gigantic penises that if you have sex with them, it would kill you.
Not a perfect man then, is it?
No. So to perfect man, you'd have to reduce everything. So then is a centaur a better... Centaurs are generally considered sexy.
They are.
And I don't get that.
I can see why. Because I think you have to suspend your disbelief massively to really romanticize them. Because obviously you think, well, where is the stuff? Is it going to be at the front, at the back, where a horse is?
Well, it's got to be at the back. It's because they have the human torso and then the horse body. So the genitals will have to be the horse genital. It has to be. You would see a little dingly out the front if they had it up there.
But to make it look aesthetic, and
think about how sad it would be to be this giant horse animal and have a tiny, like even a human penis on that animal would look incredibly small.
It would, but when you're getting down to it, it'll be appreciated because horses is dangerously large. So, yeah, the centaur business is a bit of a conundrum. They are so fantasized about, but yeah, there's this huge glaring issue. Now, not to reference the previous thing too much about drawing weird furry fan art and stuff like that, but of the few centaur pictures I might have seen in my life,
I like that you qualified that with might have. If you've seen it, you've obviously seen it. There's no might. The things I may have experienced in my time.
The ones that I definitely might have seen more than 4 times have been mostly in the area you're saying, between the horse legs. But that takes all the romance that people think of with centaurs. They've got gorgeous faces, gorgeous bodies, and then they've got the cool stallion thing going on as well. If you are getting nitty and gritty with a centaur, you're not seeing the very attractive human part because you're under the horse.
Yeah.
All you're seeing is horse legs.
Oh, it's a nightmare. There's no way this is a good thing.
He's going to have to shout You're right back there. Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They could set up mirrors and check in.
Mirrors in the forest or wherever centaurs live.
I
don't
know. Centaurs wouldn't have mirrors. I was just trying to think of a way to make it so they could actually like make some eye contact, and the only thing is mirrors. And that's of course he's looking down, but then his head's like upside down, and that's not attractive. No one's attractive upside down.
No, because your cheeks sag, your skin falls
Oh,
off your
everything.
face.
Everything's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't see how the romance ends as soon as you try to pursue it physically. So
As soon as you try to make it work, yes, the romance goes away. And I think that's true for all interspecies relationships.
absolutely all the ones we've tried anyway. Yeah.
Because Zeus turning into a swan. Oh, I guess that wasn't consensual.
No, it wasn't. It was a
Yeah.
it was a ruse, wasn't it?
That was pretty awful. Anyways,
But it tells us something strange about this lady. He turned into a swan specifically to seduce a mortal woman. Is that how it goes?
it's I haven't read it in so long, but I just remember there were multiple instances where Zeus turned into an animal to engage in relations with a woman. And I was like, I don't see how that's better or more effective or more like you think you'd get more resistance unless that's what he's going for. And the thing is with Zeus, that might be what he goes for.
He might want to, claim somebody with a bit of force, perhaps, or just a bit of coercion. Yeah. But also, you think maybe he just knows his target audience. This mortal woman could have been looking at swans her whole life thinking, oh, yeah, a bit of something in it.
He is a god. He would know your deepest inner desires. So when the raccoon showed up, that was actually Zeus. He was just trying to get it off with me.
Absolutely. But you were too sad.
I was drunk. We were not. Nothing was getting off with anyone when I was that drunk. That was always a problem.
Well, this definitely has issues. Yeah, too much baggage.
So the 2026 Camel Beauty Show Festival in Al Musana, Oman, had 20 camels disqualified because of Botox, fillers, silicone reshaping, and hump inflation.
Oh no!
I know. So
I was ready to laugh at this story, but that's very, very sad. Yeah.
So when you started talking about the parts of a horse, I was like, actually started thinking immediately, like, what's the sexiest part of a camel? And so like the camel's humps, they deflate because they're full of water. But then
are they full of fat or are they full of fat?
It's fat, but it's that's what holds the water. So they will if they spend X amount of time in the desert, they'll start to sag.
Oh,
so when they drink water, I think the fat just holds the water for them. So it's both. It's fatty water.
But surely it's not. When I'm thinking of like a cross reference, it's not what I'm thinking. If I imagine two cavities in the humps that are just full of water, like a jug, surely it's not like that. That's very cartoonish.
No. So you're right. It's like fat, and the fat holds the water. So when the water is when the camel drinks a lot of water, it inflates and gets like firm. And then as it uses the water that it's stored in the hump, all the fat will actually sort of shrink.
Gotcha. Okay.
My friend's daughter learned in Japanese school, that if you're in the desert, you can drink camel pee. And I was like, oh, that's good to know.
It's hydrating.
It's just another reason not to go in the desert, I guess.
Also, that's very look based. You'd have to be right there when the camel
is peeing. I guess the intent is to try to catch it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh dear. This makes me sound.
You immediately went to like straight into the mouth, didn't you?
Well, the best way to catch wee out of a penis, isn't it? Treat it like a straw.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, imagine a camel centaur. Imagine that.
A camel centaur. Yeah, it's not better.
No.
Camels themselves, though, have really nice lips. And I think that's interesting because that's where like the fillers and the silicone might come in. Is they were actually trying to reshape so they have more luscious lips. Because I know camels are one of the few animals that have like big lips.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the most attractive element of a camel?
I'm gonna say the neck. I have a thing called slender animal necks. All my favorite animals have long necks.
Starting with a giraffe and then working our way down makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, I love ostriches. Okapis, yeah, all that business. But
what
camels,
what was the last one? Pokapi?
I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation is. Okapi or Okapi? I think it's the closest living relative to a giraffe. Is it like species wise? it's that animal it's kind of the size of a big deer. It's got striped zebra-like legs, but a brown body with some markings on it. It's got a longish neck, but not as long as a
Yeah, yeah.
giraffe,
Okay.
and very very rare.
Okay, that's probably just why I don't know it. That's good. What about
Yeah,
like an ostrich or that?
love
Like, really? Because the
love
ostrich
ostrich.
neck to me is more alien because it's so slender and thin. It actually seems like too much.
It's also quite hairy as well.
I've never been that close to an ostrich neck. I just would have assumed it was skin or feathers. It's
No,
hairy.
it's not. It's not. It's like it's it's like a big airy shaft with a head on it. Yeah.
I'm just gonna let
So,
that one sit there for a bit. Listen, everyone enjoy big hairy shaft with a head on it.
yeah. Yes. Shout out both of you. The most interesting part of an ostrich's neck is how it connects to the feathery part of its body, because it's not where it's stuck out of a tuft of feathers randomly, um, like a duster. It's more when you look at the where it transitions into the body. It's a weird, like branching appendage. I'm just making it sound like an alien.
They are.
It's not as alien. It's not as alien as I'm making it sound, but it's just interesting to see where the feathers start. It's I can't describe it. I'm sorry.
No, no, it's fine because I understand what you're saying. When you get to an animal like that and you get down to its component parts, they are really alien looking. Like
Mm.
we have these like genuses of animal, like dogs, and dogs all have inherent sort of similarities, even though there's a lot of variety of dogs. But
Mm.
it's clearly like there's dog archetype.
Yeah.
Ostriches and things don't fit into any archetype. There's just ostriches. Any animal that's almost individualized is alien
In,
feeling.
I see what you mean. Anteaters, yeah, things like
Yeah.
that.
There's nothing
They,
else like an anteater. It's just anteaters.
mm. No, I see what you mean. Those creatures I think tend to do very well in in their specific environment, but not very well at all if they travel to a new environment. I suppose you could make the argument for all animals, but I think to a higher extent here because they look so interesting and so unique because they're designed specifically for the one job. It's
It's
like a
almost
one
yeah,
trick
single
pony.
use. They have one thing they
Yeah.
can do and nothing else.
Yeah, that's why you get more distinct features with these kinds of animals that you don't see living widespread. It's just in that one zone. Yeah. Have you heard of the theory everything is turning into a crab?
Yes. There's my favorite podcast, Three Bean Salad. They've made this a running joke over the last like 5 years. How every
Okay.
evolution is gearing everything towards crab eventually.
Mm.
And that was actually where I first heard that. And it was like, yes, everything evolves to become crab sooner or later.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know because when you think of a crab, I'm not seeing dexterity. I'm not seeing anything that would benefit somebody outside of a crab's environment, and hardly anything lives in a crab's environment in the grand scheme of things. So I don't know why people are being not people. I don't know why things are being crabified. Yeah.
But so should I stop moisturizing then and become more crab-like? That would be like the ultimate. Because calloused hands are good. It means that they're stronger. And that is step one towards getting claws.
Yeah.
So
Stop using fine motor skills.
I should stop moisturizing my hands for sure
Yeah, definitely.
to increase my evolution.
Exactly. Even bind your fingers together, make a pincer shape.
Okay, because I hurt my fingers in judo. When I do judo, I actually do have to bind my fingers, and I have like a weird, like the Vulcan hand symbol. That's how my hands are when I'm doing judo.
Really? Nerd.
Yep.
Mm. Okay, yeah. But this crab thing, I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know what our future's going to look like. Maybe in a million years, we'll all be crab people.
So then it would have to be the world would evolve along with crabs. So as we become crabs, so I'm assuming we maintain a level of intelligence as we become more crabified and therefore start to adjust all our technology to be more crab friendly.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So we need to write science fiction stories about crabs in the future being like the dominant species.
We could, but when you compare crabs to centaurs, I don't know if a half crab person is gonna pull in the female gaze as
Well, so that's
centaurs.
see you're using your current modern value system to look at the crab, whereas evolutionarily speaking, when we get down the line, the crab will become the thing that becomes more attractive.
Ah, of course, yeah.
So everyone would be like centaurs, that's disgusting. Now, look, I mean, look at this half crab, half human with like a crab body and like a torso sticking out the top. That's sexy.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. We'll adapt, won't we? We'll have a different kind of sex drive, yeah.
Because
And the
if you go
people
back,
who are already...
what year were you born? It's kind of weird. But
92.
92. Okay, so I was born in the 70s, and in the 80s, when I was growing up and having my sort of awakening, as we had discussed last time, it was gigantic fake boobs and zero hips. And then by the late 90s, early 2000s is when sort of more curvaceous aesthetics came to play. And so I saw that evolution over real time where people were like, they wanted just flat butts and giant fake boobs was what everyone was attracted to. And I actually never was, but I couldn't understand why. And I actually felt like it was weird and wrong of me to be me, but I've always felt that way. But now it's just the exact opposite of what it was when I grew up.
Do you think there were more people like you that were thinking, I don't know what the big deal is with this big boobs, no hips thing?
I honestly think it was mostly the people in charge of media had one maybe archetype that they liked, and they were trying to enforce that on everybody. And they just there is also the guys in power must have assumed that everyone liked what they liked.
Probably, yeah.
Because there was a weird thing, McMahon, I forget his name. He was in charge of World Wrestling Federation for years, Vince McMahon. And he didn't think anyone found Asian women attractive, so there were no female Asian wrestlers.
Oh, right.
And it was just, I was like, but other people have different tastes, but then he didn't. He thought everyone liked what he liked and nothing else. And so I was like, there must be this weird power thing where you are in charge and you think everything you like is what everyone likes.
Yeah, it's very self-absorbed, isn't it?
But that must be what happens when you get rich.
Yeah.
Because no one disagrees with you anymore.
No, you'd be just reinforced on all areas by the people surrounding you, wouldn't you? But I think, yeah, the media definitely puts a lot of emphasis on certain types of bodies, certain types of looks. So I remember being in school, pretending I was, into girls and stuff. So I know following the crowd is a big part of
No, it's social pressure.
Social pressure. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, social pressure.
Because I was in a weird spot where I wanted to do sports. I wanted to do judo and stuff, but I was with the alternative crowd where it wasn't actually cool to do sports.
Oh.
There's not really much to say about that because my friends were actually really accepting and stuff. They were very nice.
That's nice. A lot of the friends that you have in school are all kind of engaged in peer pressure, and there's a leader of the group sometimes as well. I don't know if you ever experienced that.
I think my experience in high school was very unique because I didn't suffer from a lot of peer pressure. Like, I think at that age you want to fit in, but no one was pushing us. Like, no one in our group was pushing us to be a certain way. So, all the kids were kind of from different countries. Like, one guy, his parents were from India, and the other guy's parents were from Czechoslovakia, and then my parents were Irish, and we were all living sort of in this little melting pot. There was like maybe 10 of us if you took the extended group, but there was no single person or leader or anything who was pushing anything. And so when I see other people or different experiences, I think it seems really different. So I think I was very lucky.
That's nice.
Because I was
like a nice...
Oh, they were great. I think I was scared to do drugs. I didn't want to smoke weed or do acid or stuff because I was just scared that it was going to mess me up. But my friends wanted to drop acid one night, so I just was the designated driver. It was just like an unwritten thing, like, oh well, we'll drop acid, and then if anything goes wrong, Peter will take care of us. And I was really happy to be in that role because there was no pressure for me to join in, and they could do what they want, and I was still cool. But then also it was safer because there was someone who was sober.
If you're going to do it, this is a safe way to do it. Seems like, Well, taking drugs is never completely safe. Don't do drugs, kids. But
they are super fun. I mean, don't do drugs, but seriously, awesome.
How would you know you were driving?
What have I done? I've done legal drugs. So probably I got really, really hurt once, and the doctor gave me these painkillers that were so strong I wasn't allowed to drive or anything. And he was basically like, you have to stay home for the next 2 days on these painkillers. And apparently I watched Beethoven, the Big Dog movie, 3 times in a row. I was so loopy that I watched this dog movie about a dog, crashing a kid's birthday party over and over and over again.
What was it that was so enticing for you in that
I was
movie?
high. I honestly right now could not tell you what Beethoven is about. I know it's about a big dog.
Hmm.
I don't.
That's about all I know.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that might be the whole plot. It's a big dog in small space, or big dog runs through children's party and breaks everything. Like I think that might be the basic plot. But I know technically I've seen that movie at least 3 times.
Yeah, fair enough.
In the same day though. Like you got to be really high for that.
I used to do that as a kid, but not because I was high. I hope. I remember watching Aladdin about 3 times in a row. But this is going back. I was 7 or 8 years old. I think I was just. I don't know why I do it. Maybe I was high on drugs. Maybe I had the same as you. Who knows?
No, but kids watch the same thing over and over again.
Kids like repetition and
Like they get something and they lock into it, and it's just because I went through the phase with my kids in the car, and it was like one song on repeat basically.
No,
And
what
I
was
was I've never liked Katy Perry, but I was so happy when they were like, let's listen to this other song. And it was a Katy Perry song. I was like, I'm more than happy to listen to Katy Perry now because it's not that kid's song that I hate.
What was it that you what was it that they liked?
The kid's song or the Katy Perry? The kid's song, it was, again, I don't even remember. I probably blocked it out because of trauma. It was just one of those ones that was like we do at work where it's just like the ABCs or the days of the week or something. It was just one of those really, really sing-songy kid songs that you end up despising because it's just got zero creativity to it. And then I'm a firework or whatever it was. That song is what they switched to.
Yeah.
I was really happy about that.
That's a good one, yeah. That's a Katy Perry goes, I like that one. I have a similar kind of again and again and again kind of earworm kind of thing. I used to work in a special school back in England, and for 1 year I was one of the staff in a class of children with autism, and there was one kid who loved a song for about 2 months and then moved on to another song. But he would sing it over and over and over and over again. It could literally be for about 3 hours uninterrupted, unless he was eating or drinking. And this one that he was really enamored by, it was I don't know what the song is called. It goes, that's the way, I like it,
I know that song.
Yeah, it's a well-known song, but I think it's pretty old. But he never. The bit that he liked from that song was "That's the way, So he'd repeat that over and over again. That's the way, That's the way, That's the way, and he would never get onto the "I like it" part. So all of us staff were just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting until one time, after about a week of going over this, "That's the way, he finally said, "I like it, Us staff stopped what we were doing. We cheered, we celebrated. We were so ingrained in this wheel of "that's the way." We were released from it. It was an amazing.
So when you left for the day, though, was it stuck in your head as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I learned that the reason we get earworms, we get a song stuck in our head, is because it doesn't finish. Because you get like the hook or the chorus, and that gets stuck in your head, and it's on a loop. And if you can finish the song, it'll go away. So you need to finish the song for it to stop being sort of in your head.
Interesting.
Because when I got a song stuck in my head, I would sing the Greatest American Hero TV theme song because I knew all the words. It's a terrible TV show from I think the 80s or maybe even the 70s in America about this school teacher who finds a superhero suit and doesn't know how to use it, so they're like really bad at being a superhero.
Okay.
It's a comedy show. I remember it being good, but I'm sure it was like if I watched it now, I couldn't even watch a whole episode. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing in a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. But because I can finish that whole thing, it's the end, and then it stops being an earworm. And so I could block out other things by singing that to its completion.
Wow, okay. You've weaponized this against earworms.
I have. Well, once I learned the psychology of you need to finish the thing for it to stop looping, you either need to go find the song and listen to the whole song, or you need to sing another song in your head to completion. I was able to do it. And a theme song from like a TV show's less than usually 30 seconds, maybe a minute.
Okay. Do you think any song would work, or does it depend on the person?
I mean, it works for me. I'm assuming again I read the psychological aspect of how the earworm works, and once you know it's to completion, it should work for most people. The problem is if you put yourself back in the loop somehow right away.
Ah, okay. I mean, I'm thinking Happy Birthday is a very short song. Maybe that would work.
Do you remember on TV there was a period when they didn't sing Happy Birthday? They sang some like weird rendition of it.
Happy Birthday, Peter, Peter, birthday. Is it that one?
Yeah, that's because there was like this legal thing. Someone basically, I don't know if they bought it or they claimed the rights to Happy Birthday. For a few years, you couldn't sing the traditional Happy Birthday song because you would have to pay rights to someone.
It seems crazy how somebody would own that. No, I think I heard that a woman owns it somewhere. She made the song, or she at least has the rights to it. But maybe this is a different person who. I'm sure lots of people can argue over who owns Happy Birthday.
But Happy Birthday seems like one of those songs that shouldn't have an owner. I guess because we just sing it on our own, so it's not really like no one's paying for it.
Mm. I saw a trend recently, last year, on TikTok where people were singing Happy Birthday, but only the word birthday. And they'd do this to kind of freak out the person whose birthday it was. So they'd be sat around the cake, and then the whole family would say, birthday.
Birthday. Oh, just that part.
Birthday. Birthday. And it sounds so creepy when they skip all the other words.
Oh, because I was thinking birthday, 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 birthday.
No.
But no, just silence until you hit the birthday part. Okay.
That's right. Really awkward.
Yeah, mine's just
But
weird.
I like it. It seems a very ritualistic.
Because if everyone did it in unison as well, because in their head they're singing the same song, so they would get it in time.
They would.
It would just be a group of people standing around going, birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. And poor person whose birthday it is.
CMcBJ.
You said last time about the raccoon thing that it's been something that you've held with you kind of since it happened. Maybe like a core memory of yours. I have one as well that I can't explain, and I wondered if you had any idea of the origin or heard anything to help me make sense of it. Because similarly to that, this has been carried around by me for about maybe 25 years. When I was a kid, I was walking around the neighborhood, and my old house was next to a convent of nuns where they used to live. And you'd often see nuns walking around the neighborhood. So you'd say hello to them and things. I was just walking through the neighborhood somewhere. I saw a nun. We were going to cross. Cross by each other on the road, on the path. And as I was doing this, I was maybe about 7 or 8 at the time. Was I walking around at 7 or 8 years old? Maybe I was 10 years old. I was just around my cul-de-sac area. I was walking through, and she put her hand out to stop me as she crossed me. So I stopped, and wordlessly, not saying anything, she reached inside of her bag and pulled out a leaf, and she took my hand, put the leaf in my hand, closed my fingers around the leaf, and then, again, without saying anything, walked off. And this is very, very strange behaviour to me. I looked at the leaf, and it looked like a completely ordinary leaf, apart from right in the centre of the underside of the leaf looked like a spiky growth, but it was coming out of the leaf. Now, since then, I've lost that leaf. I don't know where it's gone. I think I probably lost it, maybe on the same day. But I've been thinking about this leaf for years and years and years, thinking, what significance does it have to Christianity or any kind of spirituality?
No, she's cursed you.
Do you think so?
Okay, so a nun. So if I was going to say anything about like giving a leaf to someone, that's very paganistic. That is not a nun's behavior. So she was a witch.
Do you reckon so?
She was a witch, and she's either blessed you or cursed you. I don't know. I think the leaf in general would be a positive thing, if I'm being honest. But the spiky growth in the middle feels very curse-like.
The spiky growth was the same colour as the leaf itself, so it looked like it was coming out of the leaf on the underside. But it was, I'd say, when you touched it, it was a little bit harder than the leaf's feeling. Of course, they're really, really soft, fragile. And it was like a fresh leaf. It wasn't getting crunchy or anything like that. It seemed like it had fallen or been picked recently.
Doing this
So
all silently also makes it really creepy to me.
Yeah.
Like if she had said something like, "Oh, bless you, here's a leaf," or, "have a good day and put the leaf in your hand," or said something, I assume positive, it would have felt good. But
Yeah.
anything you do silently takes on a more nefarious tone.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
That's scary. The story you just told is actually quite scary sounding.
Do you reckon so? I mean, I was
Well,
there.
imagine a horror movie, and then so
Yeah.
it's young boy standing at a crosswalk, nun garb, so like the full black, like the whole habit, walks up and just like takes the hand, puts a leaf in it, and like walks away. That's the beginning of a horror movie where like either terrible things happen to the child or the child becomes the terrible thing.
Oh, crikey. Yeah. Now that you say it like that, it does sound very, very, very horror movie coded.
It is the beginning opening scene of a horror movie, and where everything sparks off this point for that child's family or the people around that child or something, and then they have to figure out how to break the curse or something. That would be the end of the movie.
Maybe I've not broken it yet. Maybe my curse is just being me. I'm not very successful.
We're all cursed. We're all cursed by just being us, though. That is the problem.
Yeah. Well, in my memory, it didn't seem so horrific because it was probably about mid-morning, and I don't remember feeling positive or negative, just confusion. But yeah, that's when you paint it like that, it does seem very nefarious, a little bit sinister.
It's if you lived in a horror movie and that's all you knew, then you wouldn't know it was a horror movie. But you tell the story to someone outside of the world of the horror movie, everyone's like, "That's horrific. That's horrible things have happened." Because the only closest experience I have is when we had my son. We took him to the local Japanese temple and had him blessed. And so you pay some money and they put his name and they do the sutras. So they go, and then they say his name. And then after a while, they walk over, you're holding the baby, and they take a branch with some leaves on it and they shake it over the baby's head.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And that's the blessing of the child. And I was okay with that. But then the priest walked over to like a minivan and used the same leaves to bless the minivan. And I was like, dude, swap out the leaves. Don't fucking bless a minivan with the same leaves you blessed my child with. That's bullshit. I paid for this. And that made me lean over to my wife and go like, can you get anything blessed? And she was like, you pay the money, they will bless it. And I was like, I kind of want to bring my like PlayStation in and get it blessed. It's like,
that is wild.
the guy goes in like, how headshot, something. But they'll bless anything. So I was like, yeah, maybe it'd be weird to see like if I had the money and the time, make a YouTube series of like increasingly weirder things to see if they'll just bless it.
That is a great idea for a channel.
So I'm bringing just the weirdest things I can think of and bring it into the temple and pay them to bless it and see if they'll like. At what point would they refuse? Like, here's a bottle of liquor. They'll do vehicles for safety. So
yeah. I mean, when you say bless the minivan, that sounds really. It doesn't sound like there's any kind of what's the word sacredness to that sanctity.
They were it's the same as hanging a charm. A lot of Asian people will hang a charm in their car for good luck so that they won't crash and stuff. But this is the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just blessing it so they won't have accidents and the car runs well. And I was like, okay, I don't think that's how that works, but okay. But I just thought they should swap out leaves. I don't know why that was the bit I got stuck on. I was like, don't reuse the blessing from my kid on. I guess at least my son went first.
Yeah, you don't want to go after the minivan.
If they blessed a minivan and then came to bless my child with the same leaves, I would have been very annoyed.
That seems more disrespectful.
It does. It does seem very disrespectful.
Yeah, but I think when you think of the core message in the blessing that they're giving, so safety and probably fortune and just like a positive life experience, just taking it at that value, I can see how one would bless a child and bless a vehicle for travel, of course, but at least wait until you've left before doing that.
I think they should be different ceremonies. I think there should be the people ceremony and the thing ceremony should be separated for sure.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. Yeah. Oh, so off the top of your head, choose something in the room that you sat in. What would you have blessed from that room?
Well, so I have if I was going to do serious ones, I got Dave on my lap. So blessing Dave would be pretty appropriate, I think, because that's as much love as a human as I have for this dog. So,
Absolutely.
if I'm looking for the weirdest thing, I have a printer cartridge, not a printer, the printer cartridge, the black ink cartridge, or I have this strap that I put on my arm to support my elbow. That would be a very weird thing to have blessed. I have many straps and things to hold my body together.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like Death Becomes Her. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
Oh, you need to watch Death Becomes Her.
Okay.
And that's all I've got to say.
Okay. No. I mean, I watch like because of my train ride, I watch like a movie every day, basically. So I have knee compression sleeves, elbow compression sleeves, straps for my like ankle braces and stuff. Like every part of my body I could strap into a harness of some sort.
Right. It definitely sounds like Death Becomes Her because the movie is about two kind of very vain women who get obsessed with this potion made by a guy that can make them live young and beautiful forever. But something happens and the guy dies, so there's no one left to make potions. So they've got this kind of what was a blessing, but now a curse of being young, not being able to die, but they can't do their own upkeep of beauty themselves. So at the end they're kind of helping each other tape their nose back on and keep their beauty in a very makeshift hodgepodge way. It sounds like what you're describing.
Yeah, so it's like Dorian Gray, because he's the portrait of Dorian Gray. He stays young and the picture gets old. But then when I forget if they slash the picture and then he suddenly gets really old and dies. The portrait of Dorian Gray. And then there's the myth of how the grasshopper is like a Greek myth. And so this guy went to the gods and they said, we'll give you a wish. I forget why. And then said, I want to live forever. But he didn't say stay young forever. So he just got older and older and older and older and older. And then they took some sympathy and turned him into a grasshopper.
Oh, that's torture, isn't it?
That's why grasshoppers have that pinched face.
Pinched face?
Yeah, if you look at a grasshopper's face, it's like a man who's never died. It's just, he's like 1,000 years old.
Oh, I've never seen a grasshopper that close.
I don't know. I've actually not looked at one lately, so I don't know if it's true, but that was the story I was told.
Okay. Yeah, eternal life seems good until you look at the reality of it. And if it is like that, where you've got to age, then
But any wish, any superpower has to come with like a whole list of I need, because like if you're gonna live forever, you want to be a certain age forever. Like I would say mid 30s or late 20s. I wouldn't want to be too young. I wouldn't want to be too old. And then like it was the same with like superpower. I want to make sure like all my bits work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want super healing because I don't want to be like, oh, I hurt my leg and now it hurts for eternity.
Yeah.
Like that's a really big caveat is like, so if I mess up something in my body, is it going to stay messed up forever or is it going to heal eventually? So you almost want to make sure that you maintain youthful healing abilities.
Yeah. But then as we are right now, we don't live this long. So who's to say that what we consider as a permanent damage is actually permanent if we had a long enough lifespan?
Well, there is the other side of it in that if you live forever, so my thing with like, vampires are all very sexy. The problem I have, but the problem I have is sex would be boring for vampires because they would have been like done it for the last few hundred years. So to me, vampires would be into weird stuff. So they might actually like hurting themselves because the pain, it feels different. And this is when you get into the Hellraiser, pain is pleasure, pleasure is pain kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you would just get bored of regular stuff.
They would once they've explored every avenue. They'd constantly have to push the boat out further, wouldn't they?
So I think for anything that lives forever, novelty would become the sexiest thing. So you wouldn't want an attractive person; you'd want a weird person because attractive people all look kind of the same over time.
Well, there's definitely features that we gravitate to. So a lot of the parties have those, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd get bored of that. You'd be like, oh, I've had that like a million times. They're really boring. Move on.
Exactly, yeah. You'd want a knobbly nose.
You'd want a Quasimodo.
Yeah, one of those fit camels from that beauty pageant.
Yes, the fit camels. So they were getting. Oh, you looped that back very nicely.
No.
Okay, so they were people trying to game the system because they want to win, but they were again using like Botox and fillers. Camel fill. I'm just trying to see what they actually injected it to. because it seemed like their lips were a big deal, and their humps, they wanted like big firm humps, which is a very human thing.
Yeah, that's yet another beauty standard people can't keep up with.
But humans imposing that upon camels is a very weird idea.
Yeah,
But if they use Botox and fillers, it was making it difficult for the camels to eat, chew, and drink. So it came down to so like the organizers was like, this is just animal cruelty. So, but there were 20 camels disqualified.
Wow. I mean, I hate the whole business of the kind of a contest on the aesthetics of animals. I mean, there are human beauty pageants, but for the most part, people enter them themselves off their own volition. But animals, they don't care about any of that. Yeah.
So you're not into dog shows?
Yeah, there's a whole thing with dog shows. Crufts is very big in Britain. Have you heard of Crufts?
I've heard the name. It's on TV though, isn't it? Yeah, like it's a big deal.
That's right. Yeah, I've attended one of the events before with my mum and brother for a Mother's Day thing. I liked going around the shops and things and seeing all the dogs because you can't walk without treading on a chihuahua there. And I think over time they've become more ethically sound with kind of adjusting how they view what's a perfect look for a dog. I mean, they don't advocate for things like tail docking anymore, which is where you cut off the tail of a dog to give it a little stumpy one. Nothing like that is kind of promoted anymore, thankfully. But yeah, there's a lot of animal contests throughout the world, obviously.
So
hearing about it.
What do you think? So you have an alien comes down and he says to you, what is a dog? What do you think is the most dog-looking dog possible? So you have to pick one dog to show the aliens, to show them what a dog is. What would you choose?
I'd probably go a little bit boring and choose a golden retriever, because not only do they look like the family dog kind of type, but they also embody the qualities that we love in dogs: the loyalty, the companionship, the playfulness. It's like the Captain America of dogs, I think.
No, that's pretty good. So I just put it in the Discord, is the Rhodesian Ridgeback. I feel has all the attributes that make a dog a dog. Like, it's not huge, but it's mid-size. They have that kind of face that has all the bits that make a dog look like a dog.
Oh yes, what a handsome dog.
It is. Rhodesian Ridgebacks are, I think, like if I had the time and the money, this would be the dog I would try to get. But I would never actually want a purebred. I always like mutts. All my dogs have been mutts, so.
Yeah.
But it's just,
no.
If I was going to show someone like, oh, what is a dog? And I was like, you could see like there are smaller versions of this, like a Chihuahua. There are bigger versions of this, but I think that is the representation of what a dog is.
No, I think you're dead right. Yeah, it's a very dog-looking dog.
It's a very dog-looking dog.
Yeah, and what a beautiful name, a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Yeah, they're really, really cool.
What do you think is the least dog?
You get into the really weird ones, like the tall, skinny ones. I forget what they're called. Whippets don't look like dogs. But then there's tall ones. It's not Alsatian, because that's like a German Shepherd. I can't remember. It's a dog. It's really tall and thin and has long hair. It looks like Cher.
Oh, is it an Afghan hound?
Afghan hounds do not look like dogs to me.
They look like supermodels.
Yeah, they look just stretched out. Anything that I think it's almost like the hyper, almost designed animals. So like wiener dogs don't really look like dogs to me.
No, just the face, really.
Yeah, their face does, but you look at their body, like that's not a dog. And yeah, so whippets, the really, really skinny, runny, like fast dogs don't really look like, they look like a separate species.
Also, when it comes to whippets, when you look at them head on and their ears go back, it just looks like a circle with a nose in it. That's a strange, it's very, very cute, but if you look at a dog like the Ridgeback you mentioned, if you look at it from the front, the ears give it the nice doggy,
almost triangular shape, yeah.
Yeah, but whippets are not like that. They look very, very odd and very alien-like from the front.
They need some filler.
They do. They need a BBL and a filler.
Oh, BBL. What does BBL stand for? I've heard it. It's a butt thing, right?
Is it a something bum lift?
Okay, no, you just sparked a memory. It's Brazilian butt lift.
That's right. Yes.
And that is the perfect stopping point. just on the statement, Brazilian butt lift.
Enter the mind of the academy. Chop my big chest, where the best is a philosophy. Drinking at lunch brings verbal skills like a sucker punch. Welcome to CMcBJ. Yeah, yeah, CMcBJ. Yeah, yeah, CMcBJ. Yeah, yeah, CMcBJ. Yeah.